Hi there, welcome to theclearskinessentials.com. I'm Natasha St. Michael. And here at the Clear Skin Essentials, we're always talking about how to clear up breakouts and adult acne naturally through diet and skincare. And today I want to give you 3 tips for those of you that are vegan or vegetarian and you're struggling with acne and breakouts and you're eating super healthy, but it's just not going away. So you guys know I'm a health coach, I'm a certified health coach, and I would say almost half of my clients are vegans and vegetarians. I either work with people that are on super healthy diets but still have acne, or the opposite end of the spectrum is that they're beginners and they're learning about eating healthy and they kind of want to fast track their results. Now, I want to share with you 3 things that I commonly see in a lot of vegans and vegetarians that I work with. Okay. Plus, also, I used to be a vegetarian. I was a vegetarian for 25 years. Okay. That's like 2/3 of my life. I was a very strict vegetarian. And in that time, I was also a vegan at different points, raw vegan, all of that. And in those 25 years, my skin was at its worst and also at its best. And over the years, I've really learned like what foods and especially what health foods can really trigger great skin or terrible skin. So let's just jump into my 3 tips. First tip, those of you that are vegan and vegetarian and you've got acne and breakouts, you have to be eating more vegetables. Now, you might be sitting here thinking, I do eat a lot of vegetables, but you know what? You probably are not eating enough. Not if you've got acne and breakouts. And this is something a lot of my coaching clients are always very surprised by, okay? Because most of them contact me telling me, Natasha, I eat super healthy. I don't know what it is that's messing up my skin. I'm doing everything right. I've taken out all the acne trigger foods, but still my skin is a mess. And when I look over their diet, yeah, they've got the vegetables in there, but not enough. Not enough. And I see this over and over and over again. And I have to say, a lot of times people are really shocked when they're like, I thought I was eating enough vegetables. And it's like, no, if you've got acne or breakouts, your skin is in an inflammatory state. It's kind of like your skin, like internally is like on fire. And you need something to put that fire out. You need like an extinguisher. And that comes from eating a lot of vegetables. And I'm talking a lot of vegetables. I'm talking like 2/3 of your plate and like a big plate, like a big mound of vegetables for every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You got to be finding ways to actually have a vegetable-based diet, okay? Not a starch-based diet. A lot of times I see that with like vegans and vegetarians is that they're eating a lot of starches, right? A lot of grains. A lot of flour products, a lot of beans and legumes, fruit, things like that. But, a little bit of vegetables sprinkled here and there, maybe a salad once in a while. But really your diet, the center of your diet, the bulk of your diet actually needs to be vegetables. And when I'm talking about vegetables, I'm not talking about like corn and potatoes. I'm talking about green vegetables, colorful vegetables, vegetables that have pigments, that you're eating kind of like a lot of greens plus the rainbow, so there's orange vegetables and red and purple vegetables, like all different colors, because that will ensure that you're getting a variety of nutrition. Plus the greens are they're anti-inflammatory, and you need to be eating a lot of that in order to take down that inflammation so your skin can start rapidly healing. Okay, so number 1, make sure to be eating a ton of vegetables for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you're unsure, you're probably not eating enough and you've got to increase it. The next step, okay, number 2 is I want you to simplify your meals, okay, because this is another thing I see, especially for those of you that are vegan and vegetarian and into like superfoods, maybe you're into like raw foods, things like that, is that I see a lot of times people making these beautiful like smoothies that have like 10, 15 ingredients in it. They're having like superfood powders and they're putting all sorts of things in the blender to create sort of like this punch of nutrition, right? Where it's like, they're packing it in with so many different foods in order to kind of cover your bases, right? Or you might be, when you're having a meal, you might be having all these different like mini meals in that meal to just make it fun and nutritious, right? But the problem I see with having so many ingredients in your food is that it's really hard to digest. Like, how many times have you had a smoothie where you've put like protein powder in it and like fruits and greens and green powder and nuts and seeds and nut milk and like all this stuff, right? And you blend it all up, and then like you're bloated and you're gassy and you feel sick, right? Some of you are drinking smoothies like that every single day because in the back of your mind, you know that like all those superfood powders and all the stuff you're putting into it is really nutritious, and you want to get your nutrition. But unfortunately, if anything is making you gassy and bloated and feeling kind of heavy and not good, that's messing up your skin, because your skin is completely connected to your digestive system. And if your digestion is not it's not working at its best, or it's overloaded, or it's stressed out, or the foods you're eating are not digesting and breaking down properly, it's going to show in your skin. And so my recommendation is to decrease the amount of ingredients you're putting in your meal and increase the volume. So if you're going to have a smoothie, instead of putting 10 ingredients in the smoothie, just have 3. Just put like greens and a little bit of fruit and some water and blend that up. It's so much gentler on your digestive system, and you're getting that nutrition from that food, as opposed to putting in 10 different ingredients that don't break down and digest well together, and you're bombarding your body with that you're not really benefiting from all those nutrients. Okay, so simplify. Same thing with your meals. Like if you like putting a meal together where it's got like all these different dishes, right? It's got like soup and salad and like a bowl of beans and like stir-fried vegetables on the side and then some fruit. That's too much in a meal. You've got to choose one thing, and my recommendation would be make a big meal out of that one dish. So instead of like having 3 or 4 dishes in a meal, just have one dish, but make it big so it fills you up, that you're getting your energy, that you're getting your daily needs, like your calories and stuff, but you're not having all these different foods, because sometimes different dishes and different foods in a meal too hard on the digestive system. When you've got acne and breakouts, your skin is sick, and your digestive system is probably bombarded. And so what you need to do is simplify. So ask yourself, like, how can I make this meal simpler so it's a lot gentler on my digestive system, and I can still make a lot of it that I feel full and I feel good, but I'm just not overwhelming my body, right? And then my third tip has to do with, I would say, avoiding alternatives. Okay, so a lot of you like stopped drinking milk or stopped having cheese, stopped having dairy, right, in hopes of clearing up your skin. But you might have started having like oat milk or nut milk or soy milk as an alternative, right? Some of you might be eating like soy cheese or like these dairy alternatives. My recommendation is to stay away from those, because I have a feeling for a lot of you that the soy milk, the oat milk, the rice milk, the almond milk, all that stuff is messing up your skin just as much as the dairy products. Okay, and I would actually say the same thing with those of you that have gone gluten-free and you're eating all these gluten-free products. Okay, like you're having gluten-free bread or gluten-free pasta. That stuff is just as bad as the flour products or the wheat products. I wouldn't be going near any of those alternatives. I would just learn to eat other foods, not finding like a vegetarian alternative or a vegan alternative to one of your favorite foods. Why not learn to start enjoying plant-based foods? Learn to start making wonderful meals out of vegetables. Learn to make different foods out of foods even that you've never had before. Experiment with that, as opposed to, drinking soy milk instead of dairy milk. Because I have a feeling that you might be going away from one acne trigger food only to start eating more of another type of acne trigger food. And I can definitely say that for a lot of people, soy milk and oat milk and almond milk is giving people breakouts. I could also say too that a lot of the gluten-free flour products, like gluten-free pasta and breads and crackers, all that stuff, is just as bad, if not worse, than having the products that contain the gluten. These things are messing up your blood sugar. They're difficult to digest. There's many different reasons why they're probably not working for you. And my recommendation, if you're watching this right now and you're like, yeah, I do eat a lot of gluten-free stuff, or I am putting the almond milk in my smoothie every day, I would take a break from that for like a month and see what happens. Okay? See what happens. You might be pleasantly surprised. Simple adjustments can actually yield huge results. That's all I have to say. So my recommendation, follow these 3 steps starting today, starting right now, and let me know what happens. And for those of you that you're watching this now and you're like, you know what, this resonates with me, or you want help with your diet, you are dealing with like acne or breakouts, I am a health coach. So I will leave information down below if you ever want to have coaching. I also offer too a course that I don't ever really talk about that I should. It's the Acne Causing Health Foods Masterclass. And this is something that if you want to sort of work on your diet on your own and you want to know what are the health foods that cause acne, what are the health foods that actually can help get rid of the acne, this goes through all the health foods and the superfoods and the supplements, all the kind of stuff that a lot of vegans and vegetarians and people on paleo diet might have in their diet that's standing in their way. So that's something too to look into, that I'll put links to those below. All right, so I'm wishing everyone a fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.